biodiversity and preserve the livelihood of human population. Many South American economies, such as Uruguay, Paraguay, and Guyana, are based on crops and agriculture. These countries are very vulnerable to changing weather patterns and infertile land. Some South American countries that recognize the impact of deforestation are passing laws to protect their land. For example, Paraguay has a high rate of deforestation. The country government passed the Zero Deforestation Law in 2004. This law stopped forest areas from being cleared and used in other ways. This law has greatly lowered Paraguay's deforestation rate. Local farmers can also use land management strategies to slow soil erosion. For example, the formation of oxisol can be prevented by carefully using lime and fertilizer. Cover crops can also stop potential soil erosion from wind and water. Cover crops are plants that cover topsoil after other crops have been harvested. On a large scale, plants cover can contribute to more regular rainfall. This will reduce drought and soil erosion. Soil conservation efforts will slow damage to the land. However, restoring soil fertility is much harder. It takes an average of 100 years to create a millimeter of soil. Therefore, soil erosion is a faster process than soil generation. The degree to which eroded soil can be made fertile again depends on how much it has been harmed. Lightly degraded soil can be improved with farming practices. Severely eroded land is usually abandoned. The resources needed to restore the soil are often too costly. Areas of infertile soil will continue to reduce the region's biodiversity. There will also be less land available for food production. Farmers and government will have to coordinate their prevention efforts in order to protect the land. South America is trying to reduce its air pollution. Local regulations have reduced greenhouse gas emission in the largest city. Sao Paulo, that's SAO, Paulo, one of the world's largest cities, is a good example. It has lowered carbon dioxide emission more than other large cities. Other large cities in South America also have fairly low greenhouse gas emission given their high population. Urban growth has created other issues. South America will have to deal with these issues now and in the future. Specific factors include urban sprawl, longer distance from residents to travel, more cars, and inefficient public transportation. Argentina is a leader in setting voluntarily lower gas emission. In 2010, Argentina and Uruguay also worked together to check pollution among Uruguay rivers. The Uruguay River is the border between Uruguay and Argentina. New policies made by government and international agreements can restrict a company's access to natural resources. These policies create issues because many of these resources are important exports. Some countries cannot afford to look for alternates or alternative exports. These countries are likely to favor environmental limits. More developed countries must work closely with less developed countries. Support in creating and enforcing policy is especially important. The impact of humans on the physical environment is a global concern. The world community wants to work together to find solutions to environmental changes. Work has always been done to create better policies. However, efforts to protect air and water qualities are weak in South America. The focus has been on large metropolitan areas. However, smaller urban regions are now among the fastest growing areas of the continent. Environmental region awareness and policy making is very recent across the region. It will take time, resources, and global cooperation to improve the quality of life in South America. Please answer the following questions. Summarizing. How does overgrazing worsen processes of desertification? Specifying. What are three sources of pollution in South America? Finally, drawing conclusion. Why is it important for countries to work together to create regulations for future environmental use?